Standing into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Thank you, Muncy. This is a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. Muncy, a walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
Could the Dodgers lose the division? Also, we got injury updates, and we have the trade package that could have landed the Dodgers, Garrett Crochet. We got some more information on that. And Dave Roberts just announced his starter for tonight. We're going to dive into all the latest about your boys in blue. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam. It's a double for Freddie. Magic.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And we got a jam-packed show, guys. This is Dodgers Dugout Live. Everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. And also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, comment Go Ohtani down below, getting close to 95,000 subscribers. And once we hit 95K, we're giving away this jersey. All you have to do to be eligible is subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I know there's a scammer out there claiming that they've won the jersey. Don't listen to him, okay? Ignore that, all right? So still have the jersey to give away. Also, a reminder that today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, you can receive a 50% off free bet up to $250 on your first deposit, up to anything from the UFC to baseball to Formula One racing. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to their online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, for your 50% off free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here. And every episode of Dodgers Dugout Live starts with the poll question of the show. And I asked you guys over on the X, would you rather see the Dodgers win the division or get into the postseason as the wild card? I've had tons of you on the show saying it doesn't matter if you win the division, sneak in as the wild card, play a 3-game series, and then you're hot and you don't have to worry about the layoff and you don't have to have 5 days off for the NLDS. Well, right now, 83% of you say win the division and 17% of you say win the wild card. So we're going to talk about that here because that is the hottest story in Dodger baseball. And that's where we're going to begin here with the leadoff. And we got some comments down below. We got Philip Fountain says division. We got some Go Ohtani. Craig Osterberg says the division. I got Tony Tater, super producer, looking for your comments. He's going to feature them on the screen, all those super chats. Looking for that comment of the show as always.
You win. Perfect.
Anytime we see a fire take, we're going to hit you one of these. But right now, the Los Angeles Dodgers, after taking 2 of 4 games against the Milwaukee Brewers, still playing quality baseball. They've gone 8-4 in the month of August. They've won 7 of the last 10 games, but unfortunately, the Padres and the Diamondbacks just refuse to lose after the All-Star break. And right now, the Dodgers sitting at 71-51 on a 94-win pace, just 2 games up on the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres in the National League West. And the Padres, they have that tiebreaker. So that's definitely something to be concerned about. Now, one thing I want to point out is this Dodgers team, they're continuing to get healthy. Dave Roberts said a few minutes ago on MLB Network that Tommy Edman is going to be back Monday, so he is going to help solidify the center field position defensively. Kevin Kiermaier has been fantastic, all world defensively so far. Saw the other day, 99 miles per hour to gun him down at the plate. That was a fantastic play. Also has had some hits. Offensively, he hasn't been the worst. Last year, he was slightly above average with the stick. Maybe he can get back to that. I certainly want to see Kevin Kiermaier be on this postseason roster. Defense matters. Like him as a late game substitution. But Tommy Edman is going to be back, and he's going to play in center field. Could also see him play some shortstop as well. I still think that's a possibility. Remember, he's a switch hitter. He's a player that defensively has won a Gold Glove. And then Miguel Rojas, he's going to be your everyday shortstop, and he's on a 7-game hitting streak, and he's hit all season long. But just imagine that. You have Tommy Edman at shortstop, and then you have Kevin Kiermaier in center field. That's your late game defense. That is premium, top shelf, A1 level defense right there. And it's something that I want to see. But when you look at this division as a whole, we're going to talk some more Tommy Edman and how he fits into this lineup in a little bit here. When you look at where the Dodgers are at, it feels like there's this sense of panic out there. The fact that this is the shortest the lead has been. This is the slimmest the lead has been in the National League West since April 25th. And the Dodgers at one point had a 9-game lead in the division. They were looking like the Secretariat and the Belmont Stakes. They were going to just continue to run away with this division. That's not the case, because the Diamondbacks and the Padres have been on fire, absolutely scorching hot since the All-Star break. 2 quality teams that are on a run right now, and the Dodgers, they're going to have to deal with them if they want to hold them off in this division. Like I said, the Dodgers this month, not bad, 8-4. You'll take that. That's winning baseball. The Diamondbacks, though, they're 11-2 in August. The Padres, they're 10-2 in August. So you look at just a couple weeks ago, Dodgers up 4.5 games on the Padres. They're going to cruise in the division, build a cushion. No, the Padres and the Diamondbacks offensively are bonkers. They're just tearing the cover off the baseball. Other than the New York Yankees, since the All-Star break, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres have been the 2 best offensive teams in baseball. The Diamondbacks hitting .290 as a team, a 143 weighted runs created plus. That's just one behind the Yankees at 144 weighted runs created plus. The Diamondbacks with runners in scoring position, these numbers are through the roof. Then the Padres right behind them. The Padres are hitting .283 with a 126 weighted runs created plus for the month. So 2 teams are on fire right now. Hotter than the devil's armpit. Absolutely scorching. Is that sustainable? I don't think it is. I think they're going to come down to earth at least a little bit. Jock Peterson is having the best season of his career, 58% above league average. Jock Peterson's been fantastic for that team. Ketel Marte is putting together an MVP level season. And the Padres, they were a solid team before, and you went out there and you got Tanner Scott, who him and Michael Kopech have been the 2 best relievers that have been dealt. And you are a team that added, right? You look at the Padres team, they added to their equation just because of how aggressive they were. They got Luis Arias earlier in the season. You get a Tanner Scott. King has been great for you this year. So the Padres said, you know what? All gas, no brakes. Whereas the Dodgers, they said, you know what? We had to make a trade. If the Dodgers didn't go out there and trade for Jack Flaherty, and you're just banking on Yoshinobu Yamamoto to come back and be that guy, which I have confidence that he can, but that's still a big if. If Clayton Kershaw is going to pitch well, Gavin Stone, who had his best start in a while His ERA was close to 7 in his first 6 starts after that 9-inning shutout against the White Sox. He put together a quality start. But Walker Buehler, the way he's pitched, you absolutely had to go get Jack Flaherty. He was essential to the Dodgers making a run at the World Series and holding off these two teams. Then you added a Michael Kopech. You picked up a Kevin Kiermaier. You added a Tommy Edman. Well, the early returns on Michael Kopech and Jack Flaherty have been fantastic. Jack Flaherty gave up 3 runs yesterday, gave up 2 home runs, but he settled down. He was solid. Didn't go as deep as you want. You want him to go at least 6 innings to not tax that Dodgers pen, but still, those 5 innings, he's been giving him quality. And Michael Kopech, who I was pounding on my fist to go out and trade because of the stuff, and I thought he's the ultimate pitcher that you put in the Dodgers pitching lab, and he would turn into something great. Well, so far, he's been better than great. He's been one of the very best relievers in the sport since he's put on the Dodger blue. 7 games, 7 1/3 innings of work. He's allowed 0 runs, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's allowed just 1 hit. Michael Kopech should be the closer of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And yesterday, I don't have too many qualms about when they used him necessarily, because it still was the top of that Brewers lineup, still could be considered a high leverage situation. But where I do have an issue is, sure, you're going to have to use Daniel Hudson no matter what during that game. And Daniel Hudson yesterday was Pele and Messi the way he was kicking the ball for some reason. But Michael Kopech, I think you had a chance to send a message that, you know what? Dave told us a couple weeks ago when he was a little frustrated after a loss that the best guys were going to play. Well, right now, he is the best guy, and he should be playing and pitching in the highest of leverage situations. We got Kopech rhymes with closer, colossal. Hey, at the close. I'll give you a fire take for that one. We got a super chat here, 11 orphan, $10. Starbucks or Red Bull needs to sponsor the Dodgers so they could wake up their bats after the 7th inning. Wow. So I'm gonna give you a fire take for that one. How about not even that, man? How about a bang? Give them a bang. That's the kind of drink they need after that, because after that, or get the
energy drink,
no,
right?
Not the prime. No prime here. No prime. Gotta give the bang. That bang is crazy. But I think you bring up a good point. They have scored literally 1 time after the 7th inning in their last 8 games, and that was an extra inning game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. You got Will Lazard, $10 super chat. Dave really needs to let the starters get past the 6th. They cannot expect to win in October. Pulling the starting pitching before the 6th, it magnifies the bullpen and the margin of error. Tayo Serrano, $5 super chat. D-Mac, who do you think is heading down when Muncy and Edman come back next week? Maybe Pajes and J-Hay, Padres and D-Nuts will cool down. Yeah, absolutely. I think that they're going to cool down to an extent, but the Dodgers still have to play winning baseball. As far as the roster moves, Dave Roberts just said a few minutes ago that Justin Wroblesk will be getting the start tonight, and that makes a lot of sense because you're on a 13-game stretch. You can't further tax this bullpen. I think what you're going to see as far as the moves is I'm pretty sure they'll DFA Brent Honeywell. I don't know if they've announced that yet. That would be my guess. And then Wroblesk will get the start. And then on Saturday, with the way that Ryan Brazier has been pitching down at the minor league level, I think they option Wroblesk and then bring up Ryan Brazier to help them out, then get his season going. As far as next week, Nick Ahmed, he's got to update that LinkedIn, man, because he's going to get DFA'd. He's got his 10 years of service time. You feel good about that. Jason Hayward, I still think that he gets some more opportunities before then, but Andy Pajes has been really great of late. It's tough to put down Andy Pajes right now because he has an OPS over 1,000 in the month of August. So I still think that Pajes has the potential to be the Dodgers' best bench bat in the postseason, but also he's the one guy that does have options. So they're definitely going to try to take advantage of that. But as far as the lead in the division, and we'll talk more about that in a second here, but as far as the lead in the division, how concerned are you about the Diamondbacks and the Padres? Because me personally, I am concerned. Absolutely 100% I am concerned just because the D-backs and the Padres, one, their rosters are well constructed to have success down the stretch. and in the postseason. And both of these teams are the teams that beat the Dodgers in the last 2 seasons. The Padres beat the 111-win Dodgers back in 2022, and then the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers last season. And the matchups this year, the Dodgers have faced the Diamondbacks 3 times this season, and they dropped 2 of those series, and they faced the Padres 4 times, and they got the split in 1 of the series and lost the other 3. The Dodgers have a 4-game set against the Diamondbacks still starting at the end of this month in a 3-game series against the Padres. So they're still going to be able to face each other and take advantage of those head-to-head matchups. But no, this is going to be scary if the Dodgers don't get the bullpen production that they need and late offense, consistent offense. If you look at Shohei Ohtani, you're going to need some more from him. And I think one of the big questions remaining for the remainder of the season is, do they truly stick with Shohei Ohtani at the leadoff spot? Or do they say, you know what? Mookie Betts is one of the best leadoff hitters in the history of baseball. We want to see how this lineup looks when Mookie Betts is batting leadoff again. Don't forget, back in 2020, when the team got off to a little bit of a slow start, Mookie was batting in the 2-hole. Then they bump him up to the leadoff spot. Then that team's go on to win the World Series. And if you look at Shohei Ohtani, before the All-Star break, MVP, slam dunk, best player on the planet, him and Aaron Judge, no doubt about it. He was putting up ridiculous numbers. He's still on pace for 49 home runs, 50 home runs, and he's going to be a 40-40. The question is he going to be a 50-50 player, the first player in Major League history? But the number I look at, the first half of the season before the All-Star break, a 400 on-base percentage. A 400 on-base percentage, a 1,035 OPS, 29 home runs, 4 triples, just putting up absurd MVP-like numbers. After the All-Star break, hitting 210, but the on-base has dropped from 400 down to 310. So that's not ideal for a leadoff hitter. And yes, you love the fact that Shohei is someone that's a free swinger. He's going to go up there to do damage. He's not a Juan Soto. He's up there to destroy baseballs and hit them into orbit. But as a leadoff hitter, if he gets on base with the way he can steal bases, that's pretty much an extra base hit. That's like getting a double and a triple the way he can steal second and he can steal third. So yes, I still want Shohei to be Shohei, and he's like a great artist, right? You don't want to go up to the artist and tell him how to paint, right? You let artists be artists. You don't get in their way. And his season as a whole, it's going to look great as far as the numbers go. But as far as the role goes, and his role as leadoff guy, I think there are certain spots where you definitely want to see a table setters mentality and have him get on base. Because like I said, you've got Mookie. You've got Freddie behind you. It's the MV3, not the MV1. And I think that he realizes that this team gets back to going absolutely bonkers at the plate and scoring more runs and being more consistent as well. But let me know, do you guys still like the idea of Shohei at leadoff? I still think that it gives this team the best chance to score a ton of runs. If Shohei kind of uses some different clubs in his bag, that's kind of not who he is though, right? Sometimes he does expand the zone. Sometimes he does swing for the fences, because more often than not, we're celebrating Shohei Ohtani home runs and talking about how he's the unicorn and it's the best player. He's putting on a show and this guy is just unbelievable. That's usually the narrative about Shohei Ohtani. But I think that the two things I consider are, one, you have one of the best leadoff hitters on the planet, arguably the best in Mookie. Yes, he's not the base runner he once was, but it's the mindset, it's the experience there. And then the other big question is, if Dave Roberts is truly adamant on splitting up the lefties and having Shohei and Freddie bat 1 and 3 and Mookie in between, it doesn't have a lot of options there if you want to maximize the at-bats for those 1, 2, and 3. So they're kind of locked into this one. But I think that's definitely a storyline to follow very closely for the remainder of the season. But I will say, this feels like a scary movie as far as, yeah, you're probably not going to die in the end of this movie, but the house is going to be burned down. You're going to be bloody at the end of it. right? There's going to be a lot of scary moments. Michael Myers is going to be there somehow, but you escaped. They can escape and avoid the Diamondbacks and the Padres, but it's certainly going to be a tall task to do so. And when I'm holding out hope was this. Yesterday, Mookie Betts did not play. And sure, Mookie did not have a rehab assignment. He has missed 2 months. It was a day game after a night game. You're going to face the Cardinals and everything's going to be fine. You have a 13-game stretch that you're in the middle of. I understand it for sure, especially considering he's going back into right field where you have to be a little more mobile. You have to bounce around a little bit. But Dave said before the game that he was going to pinch hit, and he pinch hit. And of course, one at bat is very different than playing 9 innings in the outfield plus batting 4 or 5 times. There's no doubt about that. But you know what? Like $365 million man, okay? Let's ride with their best lineups until we're confident that this division is sewn up. I want to see the Dodgers' death lineup out there as much as possible down the stretch. And we haven't seen this death lineup yet because we haven't seen Max Muncy yet. But the death lineup needs to happen. And when everyone's healthy, you got to give this team the best chance to win. I want to see the death lineup every single day out there. Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Teo, Muncy, Smith, Lux, Rojas, and Edman. That's the death lineup. Especially if Tommy Edman, who hit his first home run yesterday down for OKC, if he's an average bat or an above average bat, with the way that Gavin Lux has been swinging a hot bat the entire second half, Miguel Rojas has hit all year. Max Muncy is a 36-plus homer guy. Will Smith has shown some signs of life since he's moved down the order. Teo's been Teoscar Hernandez all year. That lineup can do damage, not just in the first or second inning, where the Dodgers are one of the best in baseball, but in the middle innings, late games. I need to see a complete offense 1 through 9, and I think it starts with Shohei Ohtani, where if he's going to stay at that leadoff spot, you have to have a leadoff hitter's mindset during certain swings in certain parts of the game. And Mookie, I want to see in the lineup every single day. You missed 2 months. You're in the prime of your career. You got a division to win. So let me know down below. How do you guys feel about that? Shohei, I agree. Roy Estrada, you think I lose a wink of sleep worrying about Shohei Ohtani? No, I do not. But it's about putting this team in a better position to win. Because Shohei, if you're a leadoff hitter, leadoff hitters have to get on base. He has a .310 on base percentage. That's not optimal for a leadoff guy. Pre-All-Star, 400 plus on base, that is. So if you want Shohei, the leadoff guy, he has to have a leadoff hitter's mindset in certain situations. Smack Up or Lip says, imagine Michael walking out to a Metallica song as a closer. He just looks like a Dodger for real, for real. Absolutely. Philip Found says, I want Kopech to be my rep at the car dealership. He'll get me a deal because he's a closer, baby. I like that. I like that. That's a fire take right here. Just win, baby, from Carl. Exactly. Nathan Hicks says, I don't know what package for Crochet was, but thank God they didn't get him. Okay, so let's switch topics here real quick on Garrett Crochet. They absolutely, Neo from the Matrix style, looks like they dodged a bullet. And Ken Rosenthal, he reported in The Athletic that right-hander River Ryan was among the prospects the Dodgers made available, but the White Sox had concerns about his health after he first missed the 2 months of the season with a sore shoulder. As it turned out, Ryan suffered an elbow injury that required Tommy John surgery after making just 4 major league starts. So depending on how you look at it, the Dodgers made River Ryan available, which he ultimately gets lost with an injury. I had no issue giving up River Ryan for Garrett Crochet, but the Dodgers did not. And I can tell you this, that they did not want to give up Dalton Rushing. And Garrett Crochet, in the conversation for best starter in the American League this season for the most of the year, well, since the All-Star break in 2 starts, he's gone 6 1/3 innings. He's allowed 8 runs on 10 hits. He's given up 5 home runs. That's an 11.37 ERA. So Garrett Crochet clearly isn't the same guy. Now, we'll never know what he would pitch like if he was on the Dodgers. And I still think the Dodgers did get the best starting pitcher and arguably the best reliever at the deadline in Jack Flaherty and Michael Kopech. But the prospect capital they would have to part ways with to get Crochet would have been sky high. So they dodged a bullet. They didn't have to give up too much to get Flaherty and Kopech and some of the guys they did get. So you definitely have to feel good about that. But would you guys still have liked to see Crochet on this team? We got Chief says, in this beginning of the year, you talked like this was going to be so fun. Now sounds a little panic-stricken. I mean, to me, I find that fun. I mean, if we're being completely honest, I don't know about how you guys like to live. I like scary movies. I like thrillers. I like the Bourne series. I like Taken. I like Matt Damon, Liam Neeson. That's kind of how I like to live, man. Those are my kind of movies. If you're up 10 games in August and you're just waiting for that 5-day layoff, are you playing meaningful baseball? Are you having a good time? Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think you're going to accomplish both in this situation. I think that right now you have the opportunity to still win the division. Still finish with the best record in baseball. I mean, they're right there with the Guardians. Best record in baseball, best record in the National League. All that's on the table, but you're going to do it through playing meaningful baseball. So you could still get the reward of having home field advantage throughout the postseason, avoiding that 3-game series where the margin for error is not high at all. So it makes it even more terrifying, because if you lose that game, then what do you do? And then on top of that, your pitching is going to be set back. You're going to have to burn your ace in Tyler Glasnow or Yamamoto in that series before taking on a team in the DS. I don't want the wild card series. I've never been that guy that thought that it was a good idea to win the wild card over the division. No, you want to win games. You want to put yourself in the best position to have success in the postseason. And sure, the Marlins exist. Sure, the Braves exist, and the 2021 Braves and teams that have made runs as a wild card team. They exist, but in the history of Major League Baseball, history tells us that when you do have a really good regular season and you have a postseason home field advantage, it can help. And I want to see a World Series win at Dodger Stadium for the first time since 1963. Santiago, $2 super chat. Team won't be worn out like the past, in my opinion. Christopher says Dodgers need to make sure they control their own destiny. They don't want to repeat of 2021 where they were hoping the Giants would lose. This team, they need to just worry about their own games. Yeah, the focus should always be on yourself. You're not scoreboard watching or anything like that. I totally agree. But I definitely think that this team is going to benefit heavily from the additions that are on the way. 3 key pieces are on the way. That's what we're going to talk about next. 3 key pieces are going to be back next week. Max Muncy, who's going to take over third base from Kike Hernandez. Center field and Tommy Edman, where defensively he's above average. Just depends on what you can get from him at the plate, which, look, I mean, Tommy Edman, I think, is being overlooked by a lot of people and the player that he truly is. I mean, 17 WAR in 5 seasons. That's definitely extremely solid. And he can provide a lot of production and a lot of value to this team with what he can do at the plate as a switch hitter and defensively with the glove. And then Ryan Brazier adds another bullpen piece. And I think that he'll be back this weekend. I think that ultimately they'll option Wroblesk for him after his start. So you're getting 3 pieces. So outside of Yamamoto, you've got everyone back, and hey, let's ride. You got the lineup back that you were wanting. You got, for the most part, the bullpen outside of Brusdar Graterol that you were wanting and hoping for. And then it's just a matter of, okay, let's buckle down and let's win for the rest of the season. And I think the big question is, what do you do with Kevin Kiermaier? And does he give you enough offense to justify his spot on this team? Me personally, if I'm looking at it right now, as far as the postseason roster is concerned, I definitely think that there's no way that they thought, okay, we're bringing in Kevin Kiermaier, a veteran, can spin the glove on his finger, that can play elite all-world level defense in a year where he's going to retire and think they're just going to DFA him. And I think it comes down to the guarantees, the locks, Ohtani, Mookie, Smith, Edman, Freeman, Kike, Lux, Muncy, Rojas, Teoscar, Barnes, 11 locks. And then you got 2 they had to pick from this group. Nick Ahmed ultimately gets DFA'd. Rosario already got DFA'd. So then you got Hayward, Kiermaier, Pages, and Chris Taylor. So 2 of those 4. And right now, I think I'm leaning towards Kevin Kiermaier over Jason Hayward. Because Kevin Kiermaier, he can play some small ball. He can lay down a bunt. He can give you offense where he's not going to strike out a ton. It's not going to be Barry Bonds out there, but he's not going to be the worst in the world. I think, too, Kevin Kiermaier is going to be a different hitter batting in this lineup. Better lineup, better chance of having results. Kevin Kiermaier needs to be on this team. That kind of defense, just look what Cody Bellinger did for this team in center field in 2020. His defense changes a series. Defense matters, especially at a premium position. And then you look at Jason Hayward. Yes, he can play some center field, but with the corner outfield spots locked, can't play a ton of right field. Mookie Betts is playing that every day. Teo's playing left every day. And then if you pinch hit him for Miguel Rojas, then you got to make 2 switches. So that doesn't make a ton of sense. And then honestly, Pages is interesting too, because Pages you're not going to throw into a corner outfield spot. And then center field, you have Tommy Edman and Kiermaier as options, and you're kind of leaning more towards defense than offense at that position. But at the same token, Pages is making it tough. I think Pages, what he can do at this point of his season is force the Dodgers to make a very tough call on him and keep him in the lineup, because he's OPSing over 1,000. Why should, if Chris Taylor is not going to be providing infield depth, right, and he's going to be playing outfield depth mostly, Andy Pages should be on this team over Chris Taylor, if we're being completely honest. Andy Pages could be a better postseason bat off the bench. And if Chris Taylor comes back and earns it, fine. But Chris Taylor has to come back and prove that he can still get it done at the plate. I'm done with just giving guys spots on these roster, giving guys roles on this team because of what they did in years past. It's what have you done for me lately? What did Vince Scully said? It's the what have you done for me lately sport. And that certainly has to be the mentality. We got Rango 18 says, man, also Buehler, what to do about Buehler if he has another bad start. Rangoku 81XX. Look, Buehler is going to get another opportunity. Hopefully the command is better. The velocity was pretty consistent. Just the pitch count was too high. Too many deep counts, not getting ahead. When it's every batter and it's 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, and you're working from behind the count, it's very difficult to be effective at this level when your stuff is where Buehler's is at this stage of his career. If he gets rocked, though, how can you justify having him in this rotation when you're in a very tight division race, when you have better options like Justin Wroblesk and Landon Knack? At some point, it has to be a meritocracy, and it's, hey, thanks for the memories. We love what you did for us. Once a Dodger, always a Dodger. But would they have the heart to DFA him? That'd be a tough call. That'd be certainly a tough call, especially when pitching depth is such a premium and it's in such demand that if you could find a way to stash him on the IL, maybe the hip's hurting again, and if someone goes down, I mean, I'd rather have this version Walker Buehler than last year's Lance Lynn. So I still think that hopefully he can remain in this organization for sure. We got Craig Osterberg. Knack has pitched better than Walker. Jack Jeezy. Dodgers have the players, the power, and speed. So if you get on base, move the runner, put the ball in play, this is for the series. You have to see who is up. Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that's definitely something that this team was missing last season, was relying on home run balls, not doing the small little things. And I think that's definitely something where if you're facing a dominant pitcher in the postseason, you want to be able to have a different approach in certain spots. We got Gulf Grouch says the Dodgers need the support that only Brazier can provide. Wow, that was pretty deep right there. Give you a let's go Dodgers for that. Major Chip Hazard, where do you see Edman and Muncy batting in the lineup when they get back? So I think kind of answered that question just a few minutes ago, but I think that they're going to just try to stagger the lineup just like they have. Shohei batting leadoff, Mookie batting second, Freddie batting third, then Teoscar batting fourth. Then you have Max Muncy batting right there in the 5-hole. Great spot for him. And then I think that takes some pressure off of Will Smith batting sixth. And then Edman, you're going to see batting down the lineup because I don't see how you could put him in front of Gavin Lux. I think that you could see him with his speed probably batting ninth, honestly, because Rojas could bat behind Smith there. And so you'll see Gavin Lux batting seventh, Rojas batting eighth, and Edman batting ninth because he gets the switch hitter possibility there. So you have a little platoon option there if you want to do that. So I definitely think that's the ultimate lineup. Like I said, that's my death lineup. Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Teo, Muncy, Smith, Lux, Rojas, and Edman. Let's ride. World Series champion. Here we come. But coming up, we're going to talk some Bobby Miller. We're going to continue to answer your questions here. We got another update from Dave Roberts. He talked to reporters today, so that's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast, wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. By the way, guys, keep firing away in the comments section, and we will continue to answer your questions, guys. By the way, we were going to have Bobby Miller on the show today. He was a late scratch, just like he was a late scratch for his minor league start, and he couldn't tell us why, but yeah, we'll see what we learn from Bobby Miller, and we're going to have him on at some point next week, and he's someone that's certainly there in the fold as well to can absolutely help this team if he gets back on track. WB, TJ surgeries are as common as steroids in the 90s. Yeah, the numbers have continued to go up. I mean, Tommy John surgeries in baseball, we've talked about this all week. You got to stop throwing the ball a million miles per hour every single time you go to the plate. Until they change the mindset with that, they're going to stay the same. The pitch clock, people I've talked to, some say it adds to the problem, doesn't help it. But ask any scout, ask any pitching coach, ask anyone in the industry, they'll tell you the reason why injuries are up is because velocity's up. High velocity, high injuries. So, hey, pitchers got to pitch. Like I said, hey, back in the day, man, hey, 3-2, yes, dig deep. Pedro Martinez could dig deep. 90 could also pump it up if he needed to, right? But every single pitch, that's tough. Your 999 Super Chat says, it wouldn't be Dodger baseball if we didn't get in the playoffs in dramatic fashion. 100+ wins or last game of the season. We get this. Let's go Dodgers. Give you a let's go Dodgers right there. Got some more over here. How many Dodgers hats do all of you own? I'm probably close to 20. Angel Escobar. That's a good question. I'd say in my lifetime, at least over like 120. But I mean, because I used to go Kershaw with it, man. I used to go Darren Dreifort with it. Just straight up muddy, dirty. Just, hey, man, it was just, I wear the hell out of that thing. Now I'm pretty much just a Dodgers Nation hat, really. But yeah, I would say currently I'm going to go like 32. How about you, Noel?
I'm not too much of a hat guy, honestly, but I have a couple. I probably have like 2 or 3, but like I said, I think a couple of shows ago, hats are not for me, man. I like wearing the jerseys, the graphic tees, the hoodies, but man, you know, people are going to say they can't trust a guy that doesn't wear hats, but I don't wear them. I'm not going to lie.
Can't trust a guy that doesn't wear hats, gambles, or drinks. I mean, that's pretty much how that works. How about you, Tony Taters? How many Dodgers lids do you have?
Dude, I was the same way with you. I just wore that stuff all sweat with the sweat stains and everything. I didn't even care. I'd go to Vallarta and just wear that thing. But right now, I just actually bought a brand new one at Lids at the Valencia Town Center. But
Shout out to our friends over at Lids.
Yeah, buy
man.
one, get one free. I got a Team Mexico one too. It's pretty chill. But I wear a Brooklyn hat for when I play softball because our team is called the Brewers.
Oh, I like that. The Brewers, I think, honestly, is a top 5 hat.
Oh, yeah, for
With
sure.
the MB, it's definitely for sure about that. There's no doubt about that, by the way. So we got, someone asked, is there an update on Yamamoto? So Yamamoto is with the team in St. Louis. He has a sim game today. He's going to face hitters. He threw a successful 40-pitch bullpen on Tuesday. So if everything goes right today, he's going to start a rehab assignment. And he said that he needs a couple different minor league starts to get back in the fold. That will put him back on the Dodgers roster by late August, early September. Give him a couple starts to ramp up for the postseason. So absolutely one of the biggest questions is, do you get Yoshinobu Yamamoto back? So for sure. We got Eric Shev says, how is Freeman going to react if his buddy Hayward gets DFA'd? He won't say it publicly, but it will sting. Good question. And I think it's a business. Jason Hayward knows it's a business. Freddie Freeman knows it's a business. That's not how you win World Series. By catering to all of your superstars and having their buddies on the team and not considering who could help this team win. The only question that needs to be asked when it determines your spot on this roster is, does the inclusion of the X player give this team the best chance to win the World Series? And if that's not Jason Hayward, if there's someone that provides a better option, I think, look, Mookie Betts going to right field could have been the beginning of the end for Jason Hayward on the Dodgers, just because you have 2 elite center fielders in Tommy Edman and Kevin Kiermaier on the roster. So Hayward's not going to provide you much value there. And also just comes down to the fact that, yes, he can do things at the plate, but still hasn't been the guy that we saw last season. Last year, Jason Hayward was one of the best stories of the season. Hit 269, hit 15 home runs, had a 120 weighted runs created plus. This year, Jason Hayward in 61 games, hitting 205 and 86 weighted runs created plus. The home runs are down. The power's down as well. So it's tough to have him on this team if he doesn't have an established role that you know that you can point to that makes a lot of sense. I think Freddie might be upset about it, but hey, look, this is the Los Angeles Dodgers, not the Los Angeles Freemans, right? I mean, he's a foundational pillar of this franchise, is not about it, but hey, Hayward's going to be fine. Gordon Smash says, D-Mac, can I get a shout out to me and Luna here at work in Mira Loma? Dodgers Nation's fans all day. Yeah, I'll give you a shout out. Look, let's go Dodgers here. Keep finding one in the comment section. You got Richard Melendez. Starting rotation is in big trouble. Right now, you got Glasnow, you got Flaherty. Those are the rocks. Gavin Stone, his last start, much better. Clayton Kershaw's last start was his best since he's been back. 4 guys are pitching really well. And then Wroblesk pitches tonight. And then you have Walker Buehler trying to get back. So, yeah, I totally agree that they need more as far as length. You need to go deeper into games to not tax your bullpen as much. That's why Brazier being a fresh arm is going to help them when he comes back. But absolutely, it's not as bad as it was. And you got Yamamoto on the horizon. Tonight, they're going against Miles Mikolas. By the way, Miles Mikolas is the guy who said the Dodgers are playing checkbook baseball. So they got to check him today. I remember asking Dave Roberts about that at the beginning of the season. He told me that, he's not really worried about what he's saying. That really feels like a decade ago, doesn't it?
Time flies in the Dodger world, man.
I mean, that really feels like 2 centuries ago. I mean, 2019 to 2024 feels like basically 30 years for sure. But yeah, they'll face him tonight, and then you'll have Justin Wroblesk on the mound. So I like the Dodgers. By the way, Dave Roberts, what he said about Miles Mikolas when he said about the checkbook baseball, I asked Dave Roberts about that, and Dave told me, I think checkbook baseball as a player, you would want that. We're trying to win as every team is trying to do. Miles can sound off, but I don't think anyone pays too much attention. So Dave, salty Dave right there. And yeah, I think Dave makes a great point. Hey, Miles, you know what? It's great for baseball. Every team should be playing checkbook baseball. Do you want to play for cheap owners and have your owner making all the money? Come on, man. Jeez, if I was the players union, I would vomit by hearing that. Okay. He's anti-player right there, but hopefully they get off to a really good start by winning tonight in St. Louis. I like the Dodgers in that matchup. I like the way that Wroblesk has pitched this season. It's a big start for him on the road. They need that. And Michaelis on the year, a 5.30 ERA. He's gone 8-9 with 89 strikeouts. And then tomorrow, you got Glasnow. Glasnow on the mound. And then on Sunday, you got Kirsch going up against Sonny Gray. So that's definitely a really, really quality matchup. And then you have Andre Palante going on Saturday. So Glasnow, Kirsch, and then Wroblesk. Got to like the Dodgers' chances in this series. I got the Dodgers taking 2 out of 3 because they need to. 2 out of 3. By the way, it's the Players' Weekend, right?
Oh, Doug, I got to show you this too, bro. Ohtani, did you see Ohtani's cleats? He's wearing custom decoy cleats.
Custom decoy cleats for Players' Weekend.
I know we can't pop it up on screen, but I can come over there and show you if you want to see, or you can pull it up right there.
Yeah, let me see. Let's see what we got here.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I mean,
Pull it up.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh my goodness. That is an incredible custom job.
Let's see if the camera can catch you.
There you go. There's my guy Noise by Noel right there. Yeah. I love that. And you see the hats too.
Fire.
The hats, they got the kind of like, I don't know, how would you describe the numbers on the hats? They're kind of like,
it's like they have a pretty interesting font for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a missed opportunity though for no nicknames.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. I remember
They said maybe next year they're going to bring the nicknames back, right?
Yeah. Next year they're going to bring him back. I mean, I would love to see this. I mean, he would probably do Showtime, the show. I can't really think what he would do, but those cleats are crazy. Those cleats are crazy.
Shout out Decoy.
And, you know, here's the thing. Those cleats are cool as long as you're winning. Thanks. And I think fans right now, when you look at the division, they're like, okay, great. You know, he had the decoy on the lining of his jacket during the All-Star game. So it's great to see him have a little fun like that for sure. But yeah, let me know down below, guys. Who do you guys have this weekend winning this series? I got the Dodgers. They need to make another statement. You should have won at the very least 3 of 4 against the Brewers. You had a 3-error game that you let get away. Daniel Hudson, he boots a couple balls off his foot that really cost you. I mean, the bullpen just wasn't able to get the job done. Even Vesia, the high wire act with the walks, and he somehow got out of that. But still, the Dodgers should have taken 3 out of 4 from a really, really good team and possibly swept a really good team on the road. Got to make up for that by taking 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. Hoping for a sweep, though. Hoping, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. I was successful on my Pirates sweep pick. I'm going sweep versus the Redbirds, man. Forget the Redbirds. They're, to me, like my most hated team in Major League Baseball. How about you, Tony Taters? What's your prediction?
Oh, man, something about the Dodgers in St. Louis I just have bad vibes with, but I'm going to go with 2 out of 3. I'm going to go Kershaw going at least 6 innings for the first time this year. Hopefully. But
that's a good, yes, I like that. How about you, Noel?
I'm going to go with the sweep as well. I think all the stars are kind of aligning right now. We're getting everybody back, and it's a good time to get in that rhythm, to put a nice little gap between the Padres and Diamondbacks as they're like right behind us. So I'll go sweep.
Yeah. And I think it starts tonight. And Wroblesk certainly is up for the task. And just to have that kind of depth in your organization, I think is huge, especially when you're in a spot where you got a combination of young pitchers and older pitchers that really are just trying to collectively win a World Series. We got the Dodgers will never lose sole possession of first place. Shout out from Carson. What's up, Davis, over on YouTube? We got Yamamoto completed simulated game. Everyone seems pleased with the results. Yes, he did complete the simulated game. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is on the mend. Let's see if we can get any more updates on it. And he's very confident. I had a chance to take part in his little press conference a couple weeks ago, and I've never seen a guy that has been this confident following his first big major loss of time during a season that he's going to come back and be effective. So, yeah, I think that Yamamoto is going to come back and pitch like a strong frontline star that they need. We got D-Mac, you're speaking logically, but for whatever reason, the Dodgers front office thinks differently. That's from David Herrera. Hey, I like to kind of, you guys know, I get emotional sometimes. I'll also just try to get to the truth as much as possible for sure. Showtime fan says, as for hitting coach, He never played in Major League Baseball, only played for high school. You're talking about Robert Van Scoyoc. He's had a lot of success. And we'll see. If they fall flat in the postseason, I could see them making a change. Someone's got to answer to this if a team with this much talent doesn't go deep in the postseason. We got a super chat here from Dan Catlier, says, $4.99, who would sticky stuff help with the pitching issues? Good question. I absolutely think the answer is yes, because if you look in the NPB, they pre-tack the baseballs. And when you pre-tack the baseballs, you get a better grip. And I've talked to pitchers that have told me that the day they wake up after a start now is totally different after the sticky stuff crackdown. Just because you're flexing different parts of your muscles in your arm, and it starts to really have that effect. So absolutely, there should be a standardized sticky stuff, or Major League Baseball should pre-tack the balls. That's where I would be at. I mean, that's where I'm at with that one. So how do you guys feel about that one? I definitely think that it's certainly a contributing factor to these injuries. There's no doubt about that. We got Alex at DMAC. There's more crying in here than a hospital nursery. It's a fire take. Look, it's Dodgers fans, man. It is. And it's good because you know what? It means you care. It means that you're invested emotionally, and we totally get that. Yagamin 33 says, DMAC, do you think it's a problem we need Mookie and Freddie to perform for the team too? No, they're both hitting well. I mean, Mookie's been good since he's been back, and so has Freddie Freeman. Yeah, I think Mookie being back like he is, and he's 6 for 15 in parts of 4 games, hitting 400 without any rehab time. Mookie's going to go crazy. Mookie's going to go on a tear for sure. We got Internet will make fun of the Dodgers if the Dodgers fails to make the playoffs. Oh my gosh, it would be doomsday. They would literally go down as one of the most disappointing teams in the history of the sport. You got Tom Stevenson. Oh no, we got Tom Stevenson asking if players that have played for the Dodgers and the Cardinals again.
Let's go. Let's go, Doug.
Okay, we got Albert Pujols. Start with Albert Pujols. Rafael Furcal. Cesar Turris. Jack Flaherty.
David Freese.
Tommy Edman.
David Freese.
Colton Wong. Joe Kelly. Nick Punto. Willie Davis. Brian Jordan.
Jed Jerko. Remember that guy?
Jerko.
Remember that guy?
There you go. Jose Vizcaino. Who else?
Lance Lynn.
Wally Moon.
Oh, man.
One of the big trades the Dodgers made with the Cardinals in the 80s, Pedro Guerrero.
Oh, man.
Who else? Fernando Valenzuela. Who else we got? Octavio Dotel. Who remembers him?
Dude, I totally forgot he was a Dodger.
Yeah. Man, who else we got? Jerry Royce.
People in the chat, what's his name? Chris Frosaker, Pedro Guerrero.
That's what I just said. Brad Penny.
Brad Penny.
One of the greatest Dodgers of all time. Dazzy Vance also played for the Cardinals. Eric Davis. Who else we got?
I'm trying to blank now.
Yeah, I mean, let us know down below. Who else you guys got? We got, who else we got?
John Tudor.
Man, who else we got?
Skip Schumacher.
Schumacher's a good one.
Shout out David
Todd Zeal. Todd Zeal.
Heart High, the pride of Heart High.
Also played.
Santa Clarita, dude.
Colton Wong.
Oh.
Colton Wong last year. Oh.
Yeah.
Colton Wong again. What else we got?
Ricky Henderson, dude.
Ricky Henderson.
Did he play for the Cardinals?
I don't think he did.
No.
Did he?
I don't think so.
Joe Medwick. Old school.
Oh, man. I'm drawing a blank now.
Mark McGwire coached for the Dodgers.
Dude, he actually threw me a ball, Mark McGwire, at spring training 2013. I just yelled, Big Mac, and he just chucked that, and I caught that. I had a glove in my left hand, but I caught it with my right hand.
There we go.
Shout out, Mark.
You say Lance Lynn gave a home run?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what else anyone else got. Cardinals are butt. Dodgers hit well in St. Louis. Kopech needs to be our closer. Yeah, we pretty much hit it all today, guys. But that's going to do it. We're going to be with you right after the game. Join us. A very important postseason matchup potential tonight as far as the implications. Cardinals, they're trying to get into the postseason. The Dodgers are trying to fight off the Padres and the Diamondbacks in the division. They're going to make the postseason. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The Braves, I think, have the final spot right now. But we got Alfonso Lucio. If you had to say who had a better rookie year, I like this. Who would you choose between Bellinger and Merrill? I say Bellinger. Pitchers had sticky advantage. But definitely, the ball was a little juiced, but I mean, top of my head, I think Belly had 39 home runs, right? Belly had 39 home runs his rookie season. So, but Jackson Merrill's been fantastic. He really has. He really has been great this season. He's running away with the Rookie of the Year award. But Belly, yeah, winning that Rookie of the Year at the age of 21. And yeah, like I said, he had 39 home runs, 26 doubles, hit 267, had a 933 OPS in 132 games. That's strong. That is very, very strong right there. And Jackson Merrill, though, man, he's putting together a really, really nice season. But, Belly all day, man. Belly not even close. I mean, Belly had a OPS north of 900 with 39 belly bombs that year. Jackson Merrill has 17 home runs and an 801 OPS. So easily, Cody Bellinger with a bullet on that one. We got to Joe Ferguson. There we go. We sweep in this series. Clayton Crenshaw. I like that. I read that right. That's my favorite news hits ever. But 93 in St. Louis. It's hot. Then he fell off a cliff. That's from WB. Wait, he had an MVP season after. 2 years later, an MVP. So he has definitely not been the same player since that season. But he didn't fall off a cliff after his rookie season. But that's going to do it for this Friday episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Guys, let's check one more time on that poll question, though. I'm really interested because so many people, the Dodgers, they should just go and sneak it as a wild card. And then they can find the magic, and then they won't be rusty, and they won't have the layoff. Well, I asked you guys over on the X, will the Dodgers win the West? Right now, 56% of you say yes. And then I asked you, would you rather see the Dodgers win the division or get into the postseason as the wild card? 82% of you say win the division. 18% say win the wild card and go in as a wild card. So, yeah, I think that we know the answer to that. You want to give yourself the best opportunity to win. And that is, it's Tony Crenshaw. Yeah, Tony Crenshaw from King Yellowman. Yeah, that lady's a legend. Yeah, Tony Crenshaw, of course, that's what we would put on his Starbucks. So, and at his hotel, so no one would know who he was. So good times, guys. But Christopher says Bellinger has a 23.7 B-WAR. 95% of players never get that for their careers. Exactly. Look, Bellinger is in the Hall of really good. The Hall of good, not the Hall of Fame. You got to crack at least 60 WAR to even start the conversation for Cooperstown. And Belly will not be there, but still, his peaks definitely were fantastic. But thanks again, guys. Appreciate you. As always, watching the #1 Dodgers show here on YouTube, Dodgers Dugout Live. We'll be back next week. We got tons of interviews. Jerry Harrison will be joining us, Jose Mota, Bobby Miller, and more. We'll be back at the stadium doing live stuff, and then join us after the game. Dodgers, Cardinals, let's get this sweep against the Redbirds. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Remember, nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.